Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News. Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. Stand up for your country. You know, there's a lot of bloviating, a lot of blather, but there's only one question in this whole Hunter Joe Biden story. And that question is, did the vice president then, or the president, or the private citizen, Joe Biden, take money from his son and or brother? That is the end game. Did he take money, yes or no? Well, on his laptop, Hunter Biden, you may remember, says his father was getting money from him for 10 years. Okay, but Hunter Biden's a crackhead, or was, and not the most reliable source in the world, so more evidence is needed. And we'll examine where we are in this very intense investigation that is not going away in a moment. But first, the Talking Points memo, crime in the USA. So it's a hot topic because millions of criminals are now not being prosecuted at all in the United States of America. And law-abiding citizens like me, and I assume you, are getting a little teed off about it. So last night on News Nation, there was a town hall about crime. And the crowd was in New York, Chicago, and Dallas. I was part of the town hall. So I opened with history because you need context about crime in order to analyze it and find solutions to combat it. Roll the tape. The issue of crime, if you travel the world, the totalitarian nations do not have a problem with it. There's no crime in Saudi Arabia, no crime in China, no crime in Singapore. The punishments are so harsh, the criminals leave. Okay, that's number one, historical fact. When Mao Zedong took over China in 1949, partly because a quarter of the Chinese population was addicted to opium, and that destroyed Chiang Kai-shek's government. When Mao walked in, he proclaimed that if you use opium, two things are going to happen. We'll either send you to a work camp or we'll shoot you against the wall. Didn't take long for the drug problem to dissipate in Red China. So that monologue was presented to say that if you punish people for committing crimes, there will be fewer crimes. Is that Mensa? No. I wasn't advocating we do what Mao Zedong or the other totalitarian countries do. I was pointing out the historical facts. Well, the deputy police chief of Louisville, Kentucky, he didn't quite get it. Roll the tape.
Bill brought up some good points. And fact of the matter is the consequences do matter. Consequences have to be impactful enough that it changes behavior. But when we get to the point where we are looking to Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong for advice on how to handle crime in a democracy, we have a problem.
All right. So he's just not smart enough, Mr. Humphrey, to understand the historical context of the point I was making. And the SEALs who were clapping in the audience are part of that. They don't really want to solve any crimes, by the way. You have to understand, the progressive left believes that criminal behavior is responsibility of America, that America is evil, that we force these people into committing crimes. And you got to keep that in mind. And there are a lot of law enforcement people in the progressive communities. I know it's shocking, but it's true. Now, the second one was a soundbite from the mayor of Durham, North Carolina, former judge, very left-wing person. She blames criminal activity on lack of housing. Go.
Housing is where you start to have a life.
Believe, madam.
And if you don't have basic housing, what kind of life can you have? So, yeah, way back then, they may have been the case, but it's not true in Durham, North Carolina right now. And that's my reality, is that housing is an issue. And homelessness is an issue, and it feeds into the other issues.
That's her reality, that the crimes are committed by people who have substandard or no housing. So I had an easy reply to that one. Go. The mayor of Durham, North Carolina, just insulted every law-abiding poor person in this country that has substandard housing. Do you think, madam, that the overwhelming majority of the poor commit crimes? They do not. They never have. And I said in the Great Depression, with the poorest part of our history, crime was low. This is a cultural thing that's going on here, not a housing thing. Now, that woman didn't hear a word I said because she doesn't care. She has her agenda, her reality, and her reality is that we, the taxpayers, should provide housing for everybody. That's it. That's what she wants. That's her nirvana. And if everybody got a nice house, courtesy of other people, then there wouldn't be violent crime or something. Okay, let's go to San Francisco, which is a lunatic asylum. This is a San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Go.
Right now, we have a district attorney in Brooke Jenkins who is prosecuting crimes. You know, we're dealing with still a progressive city. That means progressive judges and progressive juries. But we're turning it around in San Francisco, and I think the comeback is underway here.
No, it's not. It's not even close to being underway. Roll the tape. As for San Francisco, it's a circus. People are moving out. The whole place has collapsed. Tourism won't go there. Conventions won't go there. You're not safe there. And the cops are at fault? What a bunch of crap. So that supervisor, oh, we don't have enough cops. Yeah, sure. You could have army of police, and they would arrest, they take them in, they don't prosecute. Okay, so I was a little testy because I'm pretty much standing on my own. There was an Arizona sheriff who agreed with me, but the rest were very progressive, and a lot of them were activists. And News Nation, sometimes they got to make a better play at getting people and balancing it. So the crowd, I got some applause, but most of them didn't like me. Roll the tape.
I want to say first that the biggest crime in America is that people think like Bill O'Reilly, really think like, I think that.
Yeah, that's the biggest crime in America. Somebody with solution to violent crime right here, because they don't want solutions. All right? They want a virtue signal. They have their own agenda. They want a socialist government or whatever it may be. Okay? They don't want, you give them solutions to crime like forced rehabilitation for drug addicts who commit felonies, right? Forced. You got to go to inpatient rehab if you commit a felony under the influence of drugs. That's a solution. Takes the drug market away. 70% of all street crime committed by drug addicts. No, oh, no, you got to be compassionate. Okay. Pretty much had enough of this. But I'm glad I participated. It was a worthy endeavor by News Nation. At least they're trying, do things. And one more thing, and I didn't bring this up, and I guess I should have. Most of the violent crime in this country takes place in the poor minority neighborhoods. That's where the vast amount of murders and muggings and assaults are. And we look away, never address it. That's racism. Because most of these poor Black, Hispanic, whatever people, whatever ethnicity living in those neighborhoods, all right, they're law-abiding citizens. They just want to go to the grocery store. They just want their kids to walk to school. And we look away. That's racism. And that's the memo. All right, Devon Archer testimony yesterday. Again, people believe what they want to believe. The Democratic Party doesn't care what Joe Biden did vis-a-vis Hunter. They have no interest at all in what he did. If he committed felonies, if he took bribes, and the word bribe is in the Constitution, in the impeachment clause of the Constitution, you should look it up. Democratic Party doesn't care. They don't care at all. All right, now I'm generalizing. I'm sure there are some Democrats that do, but not in Congress. They're not there. So Devon Archer goes in and he says a few things. We'll get the transcript later this week. And one of the things he said was that Joe Biden, then vice president, got on the phone at least 20 times with clients overseas of Hunter Biden, because Archer and Hunter Biden were in the business together. So the Oversight Committee Chairman, James Comer, hears that, and here's what he says. Go.
Well, every day this bribery scandal becomes more credible. I mean, let's look at what Devon Archer testified today. He said that not only was Joe Biden on the phone over 20 times with people, including the Burisma executives, talking about whatever, even though the president denied that he never spoke to any of these people.
Well, he didn't deny that he ever spoke to these people. He denied, all right, speaking to them about business dealings. Okay, so we want to be accurate here. But there's no question that Joe Biden knew his son was selling influence and his brother. That's what they did, to the tune of about 30 million, maybe more. And Biden participated in that. And then in the debates and other places, he goes, no, I had nothing to do with it. Not true. Provable. Did he commit a crime in helping his son sell influence? That's a gray area. But ethically, my God. And again, I'll go back to my opening statement. If they can prove that Joe Biden got any money from his son or brother, it's over. Okay. But in response to the Devon Archer testimony, here come the zombies on the left. Go.
This investigation, Anderson, needs to end, and it needs to end now, because what we're doing is badgering a private citizen, and there's no legitimate legislative purpose at all. It's truly stunning to me. This is the taxpayer-funded defense and political arm of Donald Trump.
God almighty. Now, Anderson didn't challenge there, but before that he did. Anderson said the phone calls were, quote, shady. So we are fair here. All right. Nightly news. ABC gave the Hunter Biden Devon Archer story 1 minute 36 seconds. CBS 1 minute 40 seconds. NBC didn't cover. This is shocking. Now, Comcast out of Philadelphia owns NBC News. MSNBC, of course, they would cover it. But NBC News, Lester Holt not covering it? I work with Lester Holt in New York. I know Lester Holt. He had to be ordered not to cover it because Lester Holt's a good newsman. They had to order him not to say anything about it. What has happened to NBC News? My God. It's just incredible. Well, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people and pulled your business through the pandemic. And now you could qualify for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. This is not a loan. You don't have to pay it back. Nobody knows about this more than the CPAs and tax experts at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do the work and share a percentage of the cash they get back for you. Even those businesses who took PPP loans can qualify. Nonprofits and churches as well. So let covidtaxrelief.org help you get up to $26,000 per employee. Visit covidtaxrelief.org. That's covidtaxrelief.org. Let's go to the mail. Caprice Ditmar, Zanesville, Ohio. O'Reilly stated that Joe Biden did not impede the investigation into documents found in his garage. I say we don't know that. All right, Caprice, but that's not the way it works. So there's no proof at all that when alerted that he had classified information in his garage and other places, that Biden resisted giving it up. Now, he shouldn't have had it in the first place because vice presidents are not allowed to take it. That, of course, story is not told. But in our system, if you're accused of something, you don't have to disprove it. Okay? That's the Napoleonic Code. You're guilty until proven innocent. You're innocent until proven guilty. Neil Harris in Arlington, Texas. You blame Joe Biden for inflation, but how do you explain record corporate profits if he was strangling the private sector? I can't seem to square that circle. I don't know about any squares or circles, and I don't know about record corporate profits. I do not believe that's in play. Some industries, like oil, because Biden's regulations have strangled the American energy industry, yeah. But others are not doing that well. Stock markets are very risky. June and July were good months for the stock market. But anything happens, watch out below. Jack, I always liked Trump as a president despite his rhetoric. I do not like Trump as a candidate. As O'Reilly said, the Democrats want Donald Trump as Republican nominee. Why? Because Trump can no longer win over independent voters. Okay, there's absolutely something to that. Rosa, I'm a Hispanic female and a Republican. If Trump is the nominee, he will not win the 24 election. He can't win the support of the Republicans. Okay, I mean, but that is an opinion. The polls say most Republicans want Donald Trump. All right, and the viewers are about equally divided. Scott, concierge member, when I look back at the Trump, Clinton, and Trump-Biden debates, Trump brought forward a lot of the things that have all come true. He's a smart guy. He governed the country well. I agree. I think his term in office, just on policy, was very successful. Carol McLarty, St. Joseph, Michigan. I just watched Cuomo's town hall on crime. You always have the answers, O'Reilly. I usually can't watch Cuomo for long, but when you're on, I stay tuned. Well, I appreciate that, Carol. I'm going to be on tomorrow with Cuomo. I'm a little mad at him. I'm going to call him out for something that happened in that town hall, but it's always interesting. I like Cuomo. I mean, he gives me a shot, right? Eileen and Jim Morrow love the shows, the No Spin News on YouTube. I know we're all over YouTube. Can you explain to my husband and I how George Soros is able to contribute so much money to different politicians? Because he can contribute unlimited amounts of money to political action committees, which he does. There's no law constraining that. The Supreme Court made a ruling. You can give as much money as you want to any political action committee in the United States. Linda Brown, Costa Mesa, California. You're right, O'Reilly. Your show ended yesterday with the Beach Boys. I immediately downloaded the Beach Boys Essentials, which consists of 50 Beach Boys songs. Brought back so many memories. It is the summer of our lives, and the Beach Boys are a big part of it for me. Julie Little, High Point, North Carolina. Mr. O, this past week I completed my goal of reading every book in the Killing series, all 12 of them. Learning by reading is very rewarding. I would also add the number of pages coupled with your concise writing style make for an enjoyable reading experience. You know, I write those books so they just whiz by. And because I don't like to read books that are ponderous. I mean, you know, I write in a style that I like to read. Now, Killing the Witches is, I think, the fastest paced killing book that we have. This will be number 13, September 26th. It just flies. Now, if you order the custom where I hand sign the book, not a plate, the book, all right? If you pre-order it now, you'll get it, but they will be sold out by pub time. If you want my signature in the book, and, you know, that's worth some money these days, if you want to sell it on eBay, you got to pre-order it now. Killing the Witches, BillO'Reilly.com will set you right up. Also, we have a New York State of Mind show with WABC sponsoring our radio flagship in New York City. Sid Rosenberg and I will be on Long Island, Huntington, the Paramount Theater, October 27th. Will be a blast. Tickets are selling very, very quickly. Hasn't even been on sale 4 days. I think we'll be sold out by the weekend. We'd love to see you. Good time to come to New York. Leaves are changing. Lots of fun. Lots of energy in the air. Ticketmaster, BillO'Reilly.com, or the Paramount Theater in Huntington. Knock them out. Not a bad seat in that theater, by the way. Also, the summer reading special still in play. Killing Crazy Horse, Killing the Killers, Killing the Legends, and a Team Normal hat, all for $32.95. So make the summer count. Get those books. You'll love them. And I got the United States of Trump. If you are interested in Donald Trump, if you're really interested in a man, so I wrote a book called The United States of Trump. You get that book in any of our polos. Our Team Normal is the hottest one, for $49.95, $50. And the polos are great. You'll love them. So that's our last thing we have for you. Word of the day, no butology. This is a fabulous word, B-U-T-T-O-L-O-G-Y. Butology is what all the cable news pundits do. But don't you do butology. Now look it up now, B-U-T-T-O-L-O-G-Y. My final thought about the next 35 days in a moment. Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. If booking your timeshare has been difficult in the past, you know it's been almost impossible lately. Most clients are shocked to learn that their timeshare is now available to the public, severely limiting booking options. Many owners are upset their yearly dues have nearly doubled during this maintenance fee season. For well over a decade, this family-owned company has had the pleasure of helping more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out of their timeshare fees. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and more than 900 5-star testimonials, Lone Star Transfer is a company you can trust. Lone Star Transfer guarantees the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. So please call my friends today for a free, no-obligation consultation at 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at LoneStarTransfer.com. Here is the final thought of the day. So 35 days, we'll all be back in autumn, urchins back to school, vacation's over. Weather stays warm now until early October. So if you have some free time in September, it's a good time to travel. But you got to make the next 35 days count. So most people do everything on the internet now on their little smartphone. I got a big calendar like this, all right, and each day. And so my August is pretty much booked. And I got some very fun things. Going out to try to catch some tuna. We're going to, I'm a big benefit to help a hospital, and I like to do that. I'm giving a speech on the 19th at Southampton. So we got lots of stuff going on. But primarily, it's an ocean thing for me in August. Ocean water is really nice now on eastern Long Island. And I haven't seen any sharks. The other day, saw a humongous whale in my backyard. I mean, a huge whale. And the dolphins were following the whale. People pay thousands of dollars to see that. I got it in my backyard. And the terror dog, I said, look, there's a whale. Boom. That terror dog, where are you? Boom. So I don't care. The whales won't bother you. All right. And the dolphins are your friends. The sharks, we never see them out where I am because the water is a little turbulent out there and the whales keep the sharks away. Interesting. So anyway, I got it all planned. I'm going to make the most of all these 35 days. I'm going to work most of August, but I'm going to take some time off. And I want you to do the same. Plan it out. You know, life is short. Make the most of the summer. That is the final thought. Thank you for watching and listening on our radio affiliates across the country to the No Spin News. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.